to Title Farming, and today we are cultivating again, part 2. And sorry if I have some sugar on my face. I just got done eating these things, sour punch bites. Sour punch bites. They're pretty good, actually. And I'm wearing my Miles Club necklace, 25 miles. Everybody, like. Well, I better show you guys what we're doing. I'm just riding with a random stranger. He kidnapped me. I'm just joking, I know him. He's my dad's hired him. So, no one wants to. If someone kidnapped me, they would probably bring me like an hour. That's what my mom always said. And I agree, I'm so annoying that they would probably bring me back in like an hour. So don't rush my mom for nothing. I agree with her. So this is one of our newest tractors, John Deere, like we always like, with the case. And we're doing our home field, and it's going pretty good. So you can see the monitor. It'll show you, what the rows and what you missed. Yeah, that's what's more of it. So then you got your air, music, already rock and roll.
We're out here discing our last field. This is gonna be beans. We got the disc going. This field was all standing corn stalks this spring, so there's still stalks over there, so we're using the disc to knock them down. We're just having to rework it because the ground's all hard on top. We had a lot of rain come in. You can see there's a lot more moisture over here. It's kind of darker, but by the time the planter gets here, it'll probably be pretty dry. It's wind's blowing. You see the dust is blowing away. I think it's 70 degrees at least, maybe close to 80. I think it's supposed to be 80s one day or a couple days this week. So. Overall, haven't seen many corn piles. Maybe now it's like the 5th, 6th one, but you know, you're not gonna have perfect. And I can't remember if we had wind last year a little bit. Had some problems with down corn or not, but overall, I mean, I haven't seen that many piles or corn growing. And after the disc went through, it kind of stirred up all the cobs and stuff, and with the warm weather, that spurred off. But you're always gonna have a couple of years fall out of the head too. You're gonna have head loss, and you don't never know what it is. But here's some more of that rye. That rye was here from. We'll use an airplane, and it'll spread a bunch of rye on the field, and we use that for our cows, because we'll turn our cows out in the field and let them graze the field. So I don't know what field we'll put in rye next year, but normally it'll be a cornfield, and we'll just spread it right on over the corn when it's about ready for harvest, and we'll just combine right. I mean, it doesn't grow that tall, but we'll spread it right at the end of the season, and it kind of helps when the pastures die off some, and be able to turn them out in that. And some people will take a mower and mow it and bale it too, different types of grasses and stuff. So sometimes people can get a lot out of their fields that way. There's a little bit more corn, but overall our combines did a pretty good job, I'd say, and had good yields last year. So obviously we got a majority of the corn. So it was kind of cool. We had a guy brought out a drone and went over a field and was able to see our population stand throughout the field, because my dad was a little worried about the stand because we had heavy trash, but it ended up being pretty good It was kind of cool how drones and technology, and then you got drones that are spraying fields. So as you can see down there in the end rows, you can see the long rows, but right there's no corn growing. That's because we had a bunch of rain and water, and that's a wetter spot of the farm right there. These back end rows normally won't grow a crop back there if you get a lot of rain. It's just how the farm is. All the water runs down off the hills and just sits back there. We got tile intakes back there and they work, but you're not gonna save everything every year. I think right now we're only running one planter. We got two, so it's kind of nice when you have two. That way, if corn ain't going, you can have one planter on beans and then get some beans in the ground. Because sometimes the fields that are going to be beans are drier, and a majority of the fields that are going to beans will be ripped. This field wasn't ripped, but the ripped ground dries out a lot faster because it just airs out the ground a lot more. But we like to work ahead of the planters, a couple fields, that way the ground can dry out. You can see him going over there. That's our 4-wheel drive. We knock out a lot of acres of back. And you can see that this did a pretty good job. Over there you can see the stalks. Some of the stalks. Up on that hill you can see that. I think that this went about, we like to go about 1.5 inches deep. Deeper than what the seed's gonna be planted in by a little. We just like to have the seed be able to have loose dirt to grow in, not be all packed. You don't, especially the corn, we don't like planting the corn right into packed ground. Or people do no-till though and have success with that, so. And every farmer has their own opinion on what's best. Here's our cornfield. One of the first, I'm pretty sure. There's a couple days behind the early stuff we planted, but and then back there's where we store our manure. As you can see, it's coming up pretty good. About the whole field's green from the road when you're driving, so corn's all in the ground and working on the last field. Got the whole field done. Standing corn stalks right here. Over there was what we dissed, and then right here was standing, and you can see did a pretty good job. And this is better seed bed right here, more fine, but plenty of moisture down in the ground.
So, if you got any questions about this, just put it in the comments, and I'll read it and I'll try to answer it. So yeah, I better get going. Everybody, peace out.